Now, before we get stuck in, I wanted to give you a quick introduction into what HTML actually is. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Don't worry, you don't need to remember that for now. Eventually, it will probably become second nature to remember that, but don't worry too much. Essentially, what's important for now is that you can appreciate that HTML provides a skeleton for websites. It's a markup language, so that means it contains tags, the more than or less than signs, which you can see there. So all you need to remember essentially is that these tags describe what content goes in which order. So for example, on a website you might put in, the first thing you put in is a navigation bar, and then some text, and then an image, and then some more text, and then a video. So HTML just describes which content goes where. So that's really the bare bones of what you need to remember at this point. HTML runs the internet, so every single web page and every single website you see has HTML in the background. Even those sort of companies that help you can create a website through them and you just have to click and choose buttons. Essentially, they're still using HTML to create their websites. So without HTML, we wouldn't be able to see any websites at all. So just a few small interesting facts. So it was created in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee. So he invented it as a means for publishing findings in particle physics. So he didn't expect it to become so widely used. So essentially, the European Laboratory for Particle Physics, this was just so they could share not only documents, but include in those documents text, images, and things like that. And so now it's grown into what we now call the World Wide Web. So the main international standards organization, they're called the World Wide Web Consortium, shortened to WWWC. And that's where you get the www from. So that's it. HTML is a team player. So when we're talking about HTML, we're talking about where the structure of the content, what goes where. And then we're going to be looking at later how we can style that using CSS and how we can add interactivity using JavaScript. So we always need to start though with our HTML. So up next, we're going to be looking at how we can get set up and get stuck into creating our first HTML websites.